Good afternoon.
Hi.
Hi. Today I have the pleasure of speaking with NightLight, who is a very special service organization that focuses on adoption. So could I have you guys introduce yourselves, please?
Sure. I'm Mariah Bundrick, and I am the Executive Director of the Missouri office of NightLight.
I'm Laura Kelso, and I'm the domestic adoption manager, here at NightLight Christian Adoptions.
I'm Jordan Georgie, and I'm the International Program Coordinator for our Haiti and Nigeria programs.
And this is just 3 of our 12 staff members in this office.
Okay. How did NightLight get started? Let's begin with the basics here.
Well, NightLight's been in operation since 1959. And prior to when we joined NightLight, we've been part of NightLight for 5 years. We were Love Basket, and we got started as an international adoption agency, working with orphanages in other countries. Mainly, we got started in India.
Oh, that's very interesting. What is your day-to-day process? Your responsibilities and duties here at NightLight?
You can answer that, Laura.
I work with families who are seeking to adopt through our domestic adoption program. And a domestic adoption is one where the baby's born here in the United States and placed with a waiting family. And then the other side of that work is that we work with expectant moms, women who are pregnant, who are seeking to make an adoption plan.
Okay. How do people normally, birth mothers, how do they locate you?
Many of them will visit a pregnancy resource center when they're in the beginning stages of their pregnancy, and then they'll work with them for a period of time, and if they do appear to want to make an adoption plan, they will refer them.
Okay. How do parents that wish to adopt, how do they locate you? What would be...
Many of them have heard of us through other people that they know who have adopted successfully, or they'll find us through our website. Some of other individuals just know us here in the community.
Okay. How many adoptions do you believe that you have been affiliated with here at NightLights, at least since you've been around?
15 years of maybe 15 to 20 domestic adoptions a year. So it's in the hundreds.
You also have an international area of the adoption?
Yeah, so we here at NightLight, we work with 20 countries currently. Here at the Missouri office, we oversee the India, Nigeria, and Haiti programs. So we have several country programs in our other offices as well.
How many international adoptions have you guys done as NightLight?
Yeah, so here at the Missouri office, since we started as Love Basket, we've completed over 500 adoptions since its inception of Love Basket.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I noticed when I came in, and Jordan, would you show us like the children on the wall? We'll follow Jordan out and see the
some countries. So we help families to adopt orphans from all different countries. This is our waiting child's list right now. We have every Wednesday, we have a Wednesday's Child that we'll put out on our social media, and we'll show which children are eligible for adoption. So all these orphans are been through the process to be proven legal orphans, and they're ready to be adopted by their forever family. Some of these kiddos actually have already been matched with their families. So we have kids that are already eligible for adoption and ready to be adopted, and then we have some families that will join the program and then they will wait to receive a file of a child to review before they match with their child.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent. What countries do you predominantly work with?
It depends on, well, we work in 20, but we have, our biggest programs are our Colombia and our India programs. We right now have 48 families in the India program. So that just gives an example. And then we have several other country programs of all different sizes that continue to grow. And then we just talk with families that are interested in adoption, and we help see which country they would be able to apply to.
Are there different requirements or stipulations by country?
Yeah, so some countries have certain age requirements, or like with Haiti, for example, families have to be, husband and wife must be married for 5 years at least before they're able to officially, apply. Some countries require longer in-country trip times. So, for example, for Nigeria, you have to go in the country for at least 6 weeks. And then for India, you only have to go in country for about 7 to 10 days. So it depends on which country, what your trip time is going to look like, and if you're able to apply to that country program.
Excellent. Wow, that's the neat information. Do any of you have any success stories you'd like to share?
I do. My husband and I, prior to my working here, we did adopt both of our children through the domestic adoption program. And they are now 17 and 19.
Wow, that's just amazing, and congratulations even now. What's your day to day? What do you do, Mariah, to to support the needs of your service organization?
Well, just a variety of things happen in a regular day. Mostly my job is to oversee all of the programs that we operate out of our office. And as you've already heard from Jordan, there are 3 international countries, that would be India, Haiti, and Nigeria, that we serve from this office, and then a strong domestic program that Laura oversees in the domestic program. And then we also support strongly NightLight's embryo adoption program. And that is very unique to NightLight. NightLight was the first ever adoption agency in the world to facilitate embryo adoption. So the very first embryo baby that was born, her name is Hannah Strachey. She's now 22 years old, but she was born with the help of NightLight Christian adoption. And her parents adopted her along with 19 other frozen embryos that were left after an in vitro fertilization process of a family that were trying to build their family through in vitro fertilization. And Hannah was the only embryo that survived of those 19. So it's a really unique program. We call it our Snowflakes program. And over 775 babies have been born through embryo adoption. So you can actually give birth to your adopted child through that program. And I'd love to share more about that, maybe in a class session or something sometime later. I think that actually we had a baby born to one family who had been in a frozen state for 25 years. And so it is very mind-bending to think about that. But another program that we just started last year is working with Children's Division to help provide new foster families for Jefferson County. And that's something that I have been overseeing in our office. And so last year we trained and provided home studies for 8 new foster families. And we're going to have another training session here in March. And there are 26 couples that have applied to be in that training session. And we have a big need for new foster families here in Jefferson County. So we're helping to contribute to the success of our foster program in Jefferson County now.
How can we, Valley Middle School, help support you in your road to success here as a service organization? What can we donate? What can we do?
Well, there are a lot of ways that volunteers and even students can help us. First of all, I think the best way they can help is to tell other people about us. To get to know NightLight, they can actually read more about our agency at www.nightlight.org, and then just sharing that information. Because there seem to be a lot of questions about adoption in our society. Some people are very supportive of it. Some people don't understand it or how it works or how valuable it is. So getting to know more about adoption and then telling others about NightLight Christian Adoptions is the best way they can help us. Another way is we also, part of our work is to provide humanitarian aid to a variety of orphanages in other countries. So we support orphans in a variety of ways as well. And we try to fundraise so that we can do that great work and help children, not just here in the US, but also in other nations. So sometimes we can give baby bottles or other containers for classes to gather their change, and we call it Change for Change. We want to bring change and hope to children everywhere. And so having a contest to see, how many baby bottles can be filled and returned back to our agency. Sometimes groups from schools have come and helped us just weed in our landscape area, in our flower beds, or shred things for us, or do other things, to help us. Some have been involved in events that we have, like a Polar Express Pictures with Santa night, just helping serve cookies and cocoa and doing crafts with the children that come. So there are a variety of ways that students can be involved, and we would love to talk to you more about that too in the future.
Wonderful. Is there any last thought that you want to share? Any of you?
Well, you did ask about the leader in habits.
Oh, that's
The
right.
8 habits.
I'm messing up because that's like the main focus. Sorry, guys.
No worries.
I have those 8 in front of me
So
too.
maybe each of us could choose one and why we think that habit represents what NightLight does.
That sounds fantastic.
Go ahead, Laura.
Well, I think we probably all have number 8.
Mm-hmm.
Find your voice and speak out for what is right, to stand up for someone in need, whether that be a child or whether that be an expectant mom or the children in foster care in our county. It's just, that's something that I've always wanted to be an advocate for children in some way. When I was a babysitter as a teenager, I knew I loved kids and I knew I wanted to serve in some capacity. Serving children, especially children who were hurting or in need in any way.
I think also another one is to begin with the end in mind, and to know what your final goal is and plan how to get there. And at NightLight, our final goal is always to get more kids adopted, because we believe every child deserves a loving family and deserves to grow up in a loving home. So first, we keep that goal, getting children adopted and finding permanency for them as our focus, and then we take care of all the details on the way to get there.
I was gonna go with find your voice as well. When it says to speak out for what is right or to stand up for someone in need, I think that in my life, I did a couple of humanitarian aid trips before I worked in adoption, and it really opened my eyes to how there's such vulnerable children that have no voice. And so I would just encourage you, if you're interested in, one day, seeing what a third world country looks like, or, just seeing like how you can help other kiddos, of course in our community, but also, the world is so big and it's so full of so many kids that need love and light, and it just really opened my eyes to how much they have to have someone that's speaking for them. So I think that it's just amazing that we get to be a part of it. Every piece of paper that the family turns in, we're that much closer to a child having their forever home. So I think that's my encouragement.
Well, Laura, Mariah, and Jordan. I sure thank you for your time and your information. It was super valuable, and I certainly hope that we at Valley Middle School can do something to help your mission.